Democracy is very tough to manage, but it's the best form of government.
We must promote unity, stability, and economic justice for everyone.
The question of security is paramount in my mind because women are the highest victim of insecurity.
Our diversity is an asset if we know how to use it.
Judging from recent developments in the country under the current president, Nigeria is experiencing visionary leadership and courageous fight against corruption. Can the current administration sustain this progressive tempo? Let's find out on the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria today. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome back to the studio. Just like we said in the introduction, preferring strategies and solutions to sustain visionary leadership and, of course, fight corruption under the presidency. One major challenge for a great country like Nigeria has been leadership. Are we actually bereft of quality visionary leadership or leaders? And of course, corruption has become a major monster, which past and present government has fought to a large extent, but still the problem is still there. And so what are the strategic solutions really? Because it's not just about being the president of a country, but it is also expected that it's supposed to be a collective responsibility where the citizenry also have the opportunity to also prefer solutions and strategies in order to move Nigeria forward. And so joining us, I've got the National Coordinator, Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, ISAN, is also a political analyst, human rights activist. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Moses Igrude.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, a researcher, global peace and conflict resolution expert, is also a leadership and governance consultant, and of course, a political analyst. Are Ariyo, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program. Quickly, gentlemen, leadership and corruption. These are two major challenges, which, of course, to a large extent, has crippled the economy of this country. Let me start with you, Mr. Moses Igrude. Looking at the current administration, does it signify, to a large extent, for the first at least 6-7 months, that Nigeria is not actually lacking quality leaders, quality visionary leaders? What's your take?
We Nigerians, we are lacking leadership, quality leadership. There have been leaders. There have no time where Nigeria have not been without a leader. It's just we have a leader that will be sincere to himself, sincere to the people, to make sure that, things should be get done right. That is what we are lacking. As you rightly said, the president is there. He's trying to get his ass together. So I will wait for 1 year to really assess him whether he's doing well or he's not doing well. But the actions he has taken, the good action that, I want to do this, like taking decisions of removing subsidy and all the like, a good move. But we are going to see whether that policy can be implemented for the benefit of the masses. Because without that translating, when you say you want to bring a policy or your leadership should reflect on the people you are leading. You are there on the basis that some people have voted for you, we are giving you authority to lead us. Use all the resources we have, the collective resources worth, to enhance good performance or to make sure to enhance our life better. So until that time, when people start feeling the effect of that leadership, the benefit that people have started at least enjoying one thing or the other, that is when you can now say, yeah, you are a good leader. So I will assess him from that angle a year from now or a year from where he was sworn in.
Ario, the president's administration has just been there for roughly 7-8 months. Have you seen some purposeful direction for the country?
Since independence, we've never had the quality, the standard of leadership that we deserve. Because when you look at Nigeria as a country, we keep up increasing revenue, increasing income, whether from our monoproduct or from other sources. But when you look at the lives of the average Nigerian, to what extent has it impacted them positively? It's worrisome because the bulk of our commonwealth, our patrimony, are stolen. By who? Not by the man on the street, not by the Okada man, and not, of course, by the cameraman in the TV studio, but by the people in authority, by the leaders. We've had people, governors, ministers, name them, who have fumbled. People have headed agencies and minted the agencies to nothing, to the bombs. Somebody had the audacity, the MD of NNPC, to build a house where he warehoused foreign currencies. He even air-conditioned the property. In the midst of poverty, the people in that place didn't know what was there until it was unearthed. You want to ask yourself, what happened to all of these people? Nothing. We're in a no-consequence environment. A man that was supposed to be in jail found himself in the Senate and he was enjoying all the perquisites. I can go on and on. Now, in these last 7 months, what has worked against this government is the fact that nobody realized the volume of the wrath that was led by the last government. More money was stolen within the 8 years of last government than all the years put together. Now, unfortunately for this government, they came with so much promises, so much hope. And a lot of us were banking on the quality of leadership Tinubu offered in Lagos while he was governor 8 years ago. And I keep asking all of these things, what are we doing to stem the tide? What are we doing to turn things around, whereby Nigerians can begin to say, oh, of a truth, the hope that we were promised, the assurance that we were given, is now beginning to tell on our lives.
Before the president came on board, immediately was inaugurated, he actually told Nigerians it's going to be a tough ride. Looking at comments and analysis by some Nigerians, they've taken a look at a progressive report in the economic growth, the stock market, the anti-corruption measures, passport issuance being made easy, the aspect of the border reopening, which to a large extent has also improved to an extent the economy. We've also seen efforts, if you look at cryptocurrency policies, the Tinubu-led administration has been able to shore up the profit in this area. In as much as we might have our own position, let's be very objective. Looking at this current administration since it came on board, have you observed some deliberate strategies to move the economy forward?
Whatever policy a leader wants to bring on board, the sole objective is to have a positive effect on the people. Not when you were telling us over the night, when you remove subsidy, money will come, dollars will come. Where are the money? If we want us, that is, yes, we will suffer because we want, all of us have to suffer in order to what? To make Nigeria great. You as the leadership must lead by what? Example. For that reason, me as a president, I will not have access to this. I'll forgo this as a governor, as a senate, all the leadership. We have to forgo all of this, our benefit, for all of us to achieve this. You know, when you bring out a certain policy and you said to yourself, I'm part of you, the people will feel you. The people will have the feeling that, yes, this man is really serious.
He has talked about stepping down cost of trips abroad with the various offices, all in the bid to like, hey, look, let us live within certain resources. I'm sure you are aware of that. The president do that.
I'm very, very aware. That's a drop in the mighty ocean of huge cost of governance that we're having to contend with. This is the same government that want to make money available for lawmakers to buy SUVs worth 160 million naira. It's not a secret, it's in the public place. And look at the humongous sums provided for in the budget for feeding, for all manner of things that elsewhere they are paid for by the occupiers of the offices. You are telling us, tighten your belt, tighten your belt. But the leaders are still living ostentatiously on the ones that you spoke about. Yes, there were reductions. But if I have my way, the office of the First Lady is not in the Constitution. Look at the budget critically. You will not be happy. There's a particular one that borders on the office of the Chief of Staff or something. The last government approved 500 million naira. This government approved 21 billion naira. 400% or more increase. How do we explain that? We need to start now blocking holes that lead to leakages of resources. There are agencies who are working at either cross purposes or virtually doing the same thing. We can save ourselves the pain of squandering our now very scarce resources on some of these things. It's a good thing that they said that the refinery that started working, because I know that the day we start importing fuel and we buy locally, we'll be strengthening our naira, because we won't have to go and buy dollars again. From that point, there can be reversal of all of these problems that we've been complaining about. But it should be forthright and open, transparent, because the missing links in Nigeria today are accountability and transparency.
It's been quite a very revealing and inspiring comments and analysis from our guest analysts so far on the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're still tuned to TV Nigeria on the Presidency in Focus, looking at corruption issue and, of course, leadership. We still have our guests in-house. Mr. Moses Ubrude, as the National Coordinator of Independent Shareholders Association of Nigeria, we're sure you have some very practical solutions or strategies you think you can prefer to the presidency to possibly make some level of progress.
If he want to drive this country to a greater height or lay a good foundation, first thing, rule of law. When you say this is the rule, don't do it. The law says the dollars is not our currency, right? We don't produce dollars. You take the few one that you want to use. It's simple as ABC. But today is lawlessness. The moment you said there is an official rate that is so amount, all of us should buy it under that rate. The multinationals obey rules in their country. They don't go back door black market or whatever to go and buy. Because one of the fear is this. If, for example, I buy from you, if you have dollars, if I buy from you, I don't know how you got that dollar. And tomorrow now they are not questioning you or questioning the person. And at the end of the day, say, I sold it to Susu multinational. That is a reputational risk. That is the rule of law we are talking about. Some people are favor, some people are not favor. The moment you say, I can buy a dollar at an official rate, you give it to some people, and then me, you will not give me or you not give another person. What have you done? Anybody can do anything. The moment you have money here, you can do undo, you can do whatever you like in Nigeria. Imagine a foreigner will come to this country, do undo. Nothing happens. As far as he has money, he can bribe his way, he can do everything. Why is America or the developed country working? It is because of what? Rule of law. If the president commit the crime, he will go for it. If the son of the president commit the crime, he will go for it. Number one thing that the president or the president government should do, try to make sure that everybody obey the rules. He should use himself as an example. The moment he do, if he can do that, all the other things in Nigeria economy will come to normal. The second one, he should make a deliberate effort on his own to get the truth, feel of what the Nigerian people are feeling. Thank God. The other day we watched it on social media. He went to go and pray in Lagos Island where people were shouting to say, oh, yeah, we were saying they are hungry. That's the type of message you should listen to. Now, one thing I like him for now, and I will say, it is that the opposition is not arresting or attacking the opposition the way Buhari did. He should never do that. Let the opposition guide him. He must make sure, as a Democrat, the foundation of Nigeria by improving and developing the leadership selection process. Where there is no check and balance, you will think you are doing well. Listen to people. Let you have strong opposition. Let there be competition. Do this. Before you know it, things will happen. Let it lead by example. By telling these people, go and get good information. Don't tell me I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No.
Mr. Ario, what would you put on the table for the president?
The issue of fuel subsidy. Yesterday I did a report where they said they've saved 8 trillion naira. And I asked, what narrative are they pushing? The 8 trillion was taken from the pocket of the average Nigerian who buys fuel, who also has to do anything at all that has to do with paying. I.e., the cost of regulation moved on, right? So as a commuter, a president doesn't have a car, I have to pay more. So the people are the one. The question I want to ask is, what are they doing with 8 trillion? So transparency has to be brought in at the highest level.
Let me come to Mr. Moses. What do you think the government should do with that money? What areas should that 8 trillion be deployed to?
He should make sure he take care of the port. He should take care of the logistics around it, the corruption around that place. He should put policy in place to encourage export, to reward export, and you make it transparent. Believe me, the ordinary Nigerian have the ability to do business, have the ability to earn. You will be surprised. All this dollar forex scarcity will drop as well because, one, we are earning it. And the moment we are earning it genuinely, all those group of racketeers who are playing around the dollar, they get the dollar, they wait, the dollar will increase, they didn't do any work, you buy dollars and keep it somewhere, hold the dollar scarcity so that the price will be going up, we stop. So he must make a deliberate effort, the government should make a deliberate effort to encourage ordinary Nigerians, companies that are doing export to do more of export.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moses Igbude. Are Oladende Areyo, thank you also for your contribution so far. But let me come to you now. The former CBN governor, Sanusi, recently said the president needs all the encouragement, has the intention to move the economy forward. So can you tell us, in other areas, what are the specifics really?
Security. Today in Abuja is a sad day. The last 1 week, some criminal elements went into one estate and kidnapped people, making financial demands. And because they said they were delaying, they started killing their victims one after the other. So at the last count, they killed 5 of those people. It's a sine qua non that security has to be rigid. The bedrock of any security is intelligence gathering. We've said this repeatedly. If you're able to gather intelligence, either covertly or overtly, you're able to plan ahead of the crime. But where criminals even have the audacity to write letters, okay, announcing that they are coming to invade the community, and then they still succeed, it leaves so much to be desired. It's unacceptable. That has to be stopped. Abuja is our seat of power, and I don't expect that anywhere near Abuja to become so vulnerable and so open to incessant attacks. Today is terrorists killing people there, tomorrow kidnappers, bandits, and all of that. If Abuja is that unsafe, what happens to Abuja? What happens to Gbomosho? We have gradually eased ourselves into food insecurity. Why? Farmers can no longer go to the farm. So much that we now gradually import all our food items. Apart from the adverse consequences on our agric life, we are importing mostly genetically mutilated products, which at the end of the day may not be good for our systems. Some of these things have been found to be cancerous. Yet, because we do not have that, we have to go and import. Government has to do something. Food insecurity must be addressed. But we have to begin to reverse all of those things, activities that weaken our naira, i.e., massive food importation, massive petrol importation, diesel and all. We have to begin to reverse them. Good enough, they say Port Harcourt Refinery 2 has started working. Between Dangote Refinery and Port Harcourt, they should be to supply our needs of petrol.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's still the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria. We'll be right back after this timeout. You're welcome back. So, gentlemen, let's look at the corruption issue. Corruption has become a major challenge, especially like Mr. Ariyo said, that the level of corruption in the past administration has been the most huge incident compared to past administration. Now, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in power. We've seen what he has done with the central bank probe. We've also seen the Beta Edu case, the high level of corruption in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And of course, on the pages of the newspaper and social media, we're seeing the drive by the EFCC. But how would you assess the corruption fight of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu so far?
Corruption is something that we have to look at critically. We have to define it. The present circumstances we are, the system, does it encourage corruption? The worst corruption, they are different. What is it? This is government money. We want to buy a biro. Instead of you now buying the biro, you took the money. You didn't buy the biro. You converted that money to personal use. You either use it to build a house. When you use it to build that house, either for rent, you have created at least a value, not in a government term, but in your own personal term. Is that not correct? That house, somebody will live there. You use it to do a business. For example, investment like pure water factory, for example, is producing, you create somebody, 2-3 people are working there. That is one. But the worst one is you now took that money and move away from the economy and use it to build house in Ghana. Now, instead of even spending the money in the economy, at least if you spend it in the economy, even if you put it in a bank, the bank will give you interest. The bank will be using the money to circulate that money around the economy. If I were we recommend I'm a president, should face the firing squad.
Capital punishment.
Don't steal. Don't take our money. But if you must take this money, you must not take it out of the shore of this economy. Such person, such group of people should be dealt with very well.
Mr. Ariyo.
Yeah, everybody in Nigeria today, you're either a Christian or a Muslim. Very few others are into other faiths, Well, every Sunday, those who are Christians, they go to church. The Muslims pray 5 times every day. And on Friday, they go for the Jumat. Yet, you see the same class of people stealing blindly, derailing economic programs, rendering the country ungovernable, so to say. There's a law that forbids government money from being paid into individuals' accounts. You don't need to be a lawyer to know that. And a sitting minister, in her own wisdom, said to transfer as much as 589 million naira. And then so many contracts were awarded that you could see are illicit and non-functional contracts. It's a good thing that you have been your searchlight on CBN and so much rot has been discovered. It's a good thing that he took a prompt action when the Ministry of the Humanitarian Affairs, that's what I call them now. Yeah, they are dehumanizing the people. But when you are empowered to help people and you are appropriating the money wrongly, you are dehumanizing people. So the only way we can kill corruption is to kill whoever gets involved with it. If your hand is found in the jar, the cookie jar, then you get dealt with. Somebody said it a while ago, though he denied it, that we are overpopulated, that it will be a means of reducing our population. Okay? Before we kill 1,000 for stealing government money, I'm sure others will have been able to sit up, because you are now going to be deprived the time and the life to enjoy what you have stolen. Even your family too will suffer for it. When we are ready and we are frontal about it and we are determined, it will stop. And the moment it starts from the top, the effect will flow down. The average Nigerian is not a thief. But when they see their leaders living larger than what they should be getting and making it look like the rest of us are stupid, then you see them devising means of abusing the system, of getting in and finding their way. And that's the reality. Somebody who goes to university, came out with a first degree, second degree, and is jobless. He's jobless because money meant for generalization has been stolen. And then each now joins a Yahoo gang. How far can you go in blaming such a person? I'm not saying no, but the leadership has made it look like if you don't steal, you can't get anywhere. And it's unfortunate.
Peter Obi advised the president that, look, allow Shetima, your vice, to handle security, while you, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, known for your economic prowess, should handle the economy. Do you think it was a sellable idea?
The security of this country is too complex for Mr. President to now say, my deputy, come and take charge. I'm not going to subscribe to that. We voted for Tinubu. Yes, it's a joint ticket. But when the chips are down, the hammer will be on you. We've just been talking about Buhari now. Nobody mentioned Osibaju. He was part of the government. Cerebral, brilliant as he was, he left the government dusted. So, except if the president finds himself wanting and he needs somebody who knows better, which I'm sure Shetima, being a banker, won't be any better informed on security than the president. There are enough retired generals of all the forces. There are enough professionals of security across Nigeria who can be called out to help. There's a need for ideas and strategy, but not to now wholesale. When President Jonathan handed the economy to Oyedepo, you remember, he went for a meeting and they were asking him that question, and he said they should ask Oyedepo. He looked less of a president.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rio. What's your take really with that advice from Peter Obi?
The truth is this. There are two of them. It's a pair. It's a man, somebody is there. And it's somebody that will assist. All what they want to do. When you say, like, should handle, it's not saying that the president should just
close his eyes.
No. He's working. Please supervise this area. But whatever you are doing, each must is delegate. While he's doing that, he will be supervising. So they need to look at it. And the president, before he hands over, security is very essential. Where whatever that is going to hand over to anybody, delegate to anybody, he must have proper control. He must look at it critically. Otherwise, if he like this, he's the one who hold responsible.
You're still watching the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria. I will be taking a look at preferring strategies and solutions to sustain visionary leadership and the fight against corruption under the presidency. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's still the presidency in focus on TV Nigeria. On a final note, gentlemen, what's your final shot, your final word for Mr. President on the issue of leadership and corruption in Nigeria?
I'm praying for him. Why? Because if he should fail, I will fail. And we cannot afford to fail. Nigeria must have a turnaround. A new Nigeria must emerge. Nigeria must rise again. It must shine again. We must get back to an era where feeding will not be a capital expenditure. On a serious note, you should begin to look at all those developmental indices that have been wounded and injured and begin to put in place strategies that will repair those things. And I tell you, it takes very little. In a short while, you will start seeing the reverse, and life will begin to become abundant for us as Nigerians. We have nowhere to go. I'm not going nowhere. Let them lead by example. Let them lead sacrificially.
Mr. Brude, what's your final word for the presidency?
First, sincerity. He must be sincere with himself and be sincere with the people. 2, it is an opportunity for him to redeem his image before the youth. During the election, you see a lot of talking, criticism, and the time is short. 4 years is going now. It is now for him to prove that he's a man of honor. He's a man of his words. He's a Democrat, as he preaches. Nigeria, he must lay the foundation for Nigerian growth. It tells him leadership selection process must be looked at. True federalism should have the courage and the boldness to do it. And economic policy should be laid out so that the rule of law should play. The rules should be for everybody obeys the rule, not in favor of some. And finally, it should devise a means to listen to get the truth.
Mr. Rio, thank you for coming on the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria. We quite appreciate your very profound, unbiased recommendations and solutions. I want to thank you too, Mr. Moses Oglude, because Nigeria belongs to all of us. And so we must have that collective spirit to move this country forward. God bless you, gentlemen. It is crystal clear that Nigeria obviously is not bereft of quality leadership or the zeal and determination to fight corruption, judging from recent efforts and initiatives of the presidency. But it's a question of not only result-oriented strategies and solutions, but the zeal and willpower to sustain it. That's the picture on the Presidency in Focus on TV Nigeria this week. Watch, follow us, and subscribe to our web TV, www.tvnigeria.ng, YouTube, TV Nigeria 808. You can follow us on our Facebook and Twitter at TV Nigeria, Instagram, TV Nigeria 1. Thanks for watching.